Hey everyone, it's the Sue and Frankie show, or the Frankie and Sue show, and we're coming at you again. Just kind of a little follow-up to our talk last week on first-time home buyers. But not everyone's a first-time home buyer, and there are some challenges if you're buying your second and third home, and you want to be able to get into the market, and sellers aren't really wanting to drop their prices. So, what are some ways? Like I hear a lot of people talk about a buy down. What the heck is a buy down? Are there different kinds of buy downs?
Yes. So there's permanent buy downs, long term, and then there's temporary. So the permanent buy downs you would see anywhere from maybe 3/4 of a point to a 1 point reduction in the interest rate by buying that rate down. It would stay bought down. It would stay at that level for the whole term of the loan.
So 30 years or whatever.
And historically, that's probably been the more common way of buying down the rate, is to do a long-term buy down. In this market today, with interest rates being higher than they have been, there's been programs that allow for what they call temporary buy down. So you can, for a 2-year period or 1-year period, you can buy your interest rate down. Right now, a lot of people to make homeownership more affordable are doing the 2-year buy down, which means that if your market rate, let's say, is 6.5%, you would start for the first year at 4.5%.
Wow.
And on a loan, $300,000-$400,000 loan, you're talking about a few $100 difference per month, in lower payment. And so for the first year, you'd be at 2% lower, 4.5%. The next year, you would go up by 1 point, so you would then go to 5.5%.
Wow. The
following year, you would go to 6.5%, and you would remain at that for the rest of the loan term. It would be fixed at that 6.5%. The idea, though, is that there's a very strong likelihood that we're going to have in the short term. I believe sooner than later we're going to have a refinance boom again, where the product of the Fed's increasing interest rates as they have for this last year, we're going to see a backslide in interest rates, where a temporary buy down would be a very appropriate way to get into a home, make your payment more affordable.
Right.
And then before you even hit that 2-year mark, then you're refinancing into a long-term secured rate at that lower market rate at that time.
And hopefully by then it's like at that 4.5% or 5% versus the 6.5% or something. So that sounds like an awesome deal. Now, who's paying for the buy down?
You as the buyer can, but I've seen in many cases where the seller is crediting for closing costs, and the cost of the buy down is considered part of your closing costs. So that money can be funded by the seller through a credit, and that's where your agent will attempt to negotiate those details for you and make the situation as optimal as possible.
So sellers, take note. If you are say you have a home that's not quite updated, and we talked about last week having a home that's ready to go on market and sell. Those are the things that are selling. Is it updated? Is it clean? Is it turnkey? Because nobody has extra funds. Your whole entire paycheck practically feels like it's going towards a mortgage payment. But and before, when we had interest rates really low, people had extra money to go and upgrade homes, and so they didn't care if it was outdated. But now we're seeing the homes that are really selling and selling fast are ones that are pretty turnkey. So say you have some challenges with your home, whether it be cosmetic or maybe it needs a little bit of work here and there. This is a great way to get more buyers in the door to say, I'm going to offer whatever amount we need towards a rate buy down, and on a $400,000 loan, what we're talking about, $9,600, maybe something like that.
Yeah, 2.5% to 3% is what you're looking at. So roughly for that cost for the buy down. So yeah, $9,000 to $10,000.
Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah, and if you're on a higher loan, then if you're a higher priced home, then it would obviously be a little bit more. But offering some amount towards a rate buy down would get that buyer some extra money to keep in their pocket. They would be likely to maybe offer on your home, whereas they wouldn't have before, and be able to keep some of that money in their pocket, do the upgrades they need in the first 2 years, and then be able to refi out of it. And now they got the home that they wanted. So sellers,
absolutely,
this is a good thing for you in a challenging market. So anyway, I think there's all sorts of great stuff going on between the buying and the selling of homes right now, and it's not all that bad. So
that's right. If you're a first-time home buyer, even if you're not, give us a call. There's just tremendous options and products available to make homeownership more affordable right now.
And it's better to buy than to rent, because rent is 100% interest. So don't forget that.
100%.
Give us a call. Frankie and my information will be down below, and don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you get into a home of your dreams. Talk to you later.
Thank you.